Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I am Monsi, this is John. We are gonna talk some sports. Let's talk about what's going on in La La Land.
All right.
John, let's talk about LeBron, the Lakers, and everything that is about to happen.
Well, the first thing that's about to happen is probably Luke Walton getting fired. But
right.
But they've been talking about that most of the season. The second that LeBron James got here, they were talking about Luke Walton getting fired because LeBron James is known for basically being a coach killer. Like the second he comes in, he's basically having that coach removed. And they're talking a lot about Jason Kidd coming in.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I mean, he's proven that he's a pretty good coach,
right?
But is he the coach that LeBron James is going to respect? That's really the question, because you have to bring in a coach that he is going to listen to.
Hold on, time out. Do you think LeBron respects any coach?
I mean,
and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, is there anybody that can actually coach LeBron?
I'll be honest with you. It looked like he would at least listen to Ty Lue. I mean, it looked like he listened to him. He didn't give him the disrespect that he clearly gives Luke Walton. Like, Luke Walton will say something to him and he will turn his back to him. Luke Walton will be like, LeBron.
And he's sitting at the end of the bench on the other side.
And he's not paying any attention to him. Like, he might as well be yelling LeBron from the top of Staples Center. Like, that's where he should be, because he's not listening to him at all.
So why do you think they haven't fired him? Because this has been, like you said, a conversation from the very beginning. And obviously, we already know they're not going to make it into the playoffs. LeBron has made it to the playoffs for how many years in a row? 15 in a row? So it's like, why haven't they fired him?
I just don't think they have a replacement yet for him. And I think that's really what the problem is. I think they're trying to maybe see what they can do about getting Doc Rivers from over in the Clippers to come over, because he's an established coach and they pretty much know LeBron James would respect him because he's established.
John, we just started the show. Don't upset me.
I'm not trying to upset you.
Because you are. Don't tell me that you're taking away my coach from the Clippers.
I'm not trying to take away your coach. I'm just saying that's what I think the Lakers are trying to push for. And they can't try to take a coach in the middle of the season when he's about to go into the playoffs. They can't do that.
But Doc just signed an extension.
That doesn't mean that they can't break it.
Yes, it means a lot.
You can break an extension. That stuff happens all the time in sports.
No. Get Jason Kidd. Leave Doc where he is.
All right. I mean,
I'm just upset.
not the
you
one
accept
doing
me.
it.
Okay, I know.
But I really think that's who they're trying to court. But I think if they can't get him, they'll go with Jason Kidd or somebody else. Like Lue, I don't think they really want him. I know that they would accept him because, he's already been established with that organization before. He's already won a championship with LeBron James. So I don't know why they wouldn't go that route, but they might not want to because, he's had those claims of stress or whatever he was having problems with. So
do you think Kidd wants to go to Lakers? That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to put on your shoulders. We talk about people playing with LeBron. That's difficult. Coaching LeBron is probably even more difficult. And his alma mater, Jason Kidd's alma mater, Cal Berkeley, is also looking for a coach.
Right. No, I mean, he's definitely looking for a job, and that's why he's constantly talking to people about anything that has to do with coaching. He's like, coaching is a great opportunity anywhere, at this point in time. Like, he's just hoping to get another spot. Now, to be the coach for the Lakers, I mean, come on, that's like one of the top tier jobs you can have as a coach in the NBA.
I am going to give Jason Kidd some credit because they asked him about Luke Walton and the Lakers, and he was very respectful. He didn't throw Luke under the bus.
Oh, no,
he was
how respectful you are.
He's done such a good job with all these injuries and all this stuff. When in reality, it's like, kid, you ain't got to lie to kick it, man. We all know that this is terrible and that, you want the job. But I thought he handled it very well the times he's been asked. So you think he wants it. I say he might not want that, at least right away.
I don't know, but the fact that he's even talking about it kind of makes it seem like he wants, because if he didn't want the job, he wouldn't even address the situation.
Well, maybe he's trying to get just his name out there. Create a buzz.
That could be it.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I think playing with LeBron, coaching LeBron, anything with LeBron must be so difficult to do.
Oh, of course.
So it's just like, you're not just taking on a coaching position, you are taking on coaching probably the greatest player of our time.
Right.
And him not listening to you.
He's also the most well-known basketball player of this generation.
Yes.
So people who don't know anything about basketball know LeBron James because he's on Instagram, he's on Twitter, he's on everything. People are constantly talking about this man. I mean, when he was sitting on the bench drinking wine, they were talking about that, like, so.
You're right. There was a game where he changed clothes. And they were like, LeBron changed clothes. Why do we care what LeBron's changing for? He's not even on the court.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so he's so big that just him changing his pants in the middle of a game is something to talk about because it's more entertaining than what the other players are doing on the court. Which is pretty sad.
That's true.
Like, even when he went over to talk to Tyson Chandler that one time, and they were like, oh, can't believe he's talking to this random person. Well, that random person was a basketball player. But even still, like, everything he does is noted. Like, they just look at everything he does, no matter what he does. That's more important than the rest of his team.
So see, that scrutiny goes on to those around him. And that's why I'm saying, like, maybe Jason Kidd doesn't want this. That's all I'm saying. What are the chances that the Lakers get the first round pick?
Ooh, very slim.
But hold on. In a trade. Let's say the Pelicans land the first round pick. We already know AD wants out. And we know where AD wants to go. What are the chances? There's like a swap. We end up with the first round pick, or we as in Lakers. I don't know. I think that something is brewing that we might not know about because there's politics.
There's a lot.
There's so much politics when it comes to sports.
Well, the Pelicans don't want to give in to the Lakers. For some reason, the Lakers have some sort of weird stain right now where no one in the NBA wants to cooperate with them.
Well, I wonder why.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. One being in the middle of a season talking about trying to take a player from another team without that team even trying to negotiate anything. That's something that I would assume would probably tick off a lot of owners and, higher up personnel. But at the same time, like, the Lakers need to figure out some way to get rid of that stain so that they will be able to negotiate, because you can't just have LeBron James for 4 years and not get to the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, they need to actually win a championship, because Magic Johnson's like, y'all, we back. We back now. We back. It's like, back is not missing the playoffs again. You've already been doing that, and you might not even get as many wins as you did this season before LeBron. Like, it's
embarrassing.
pitiful.
But I mean, like, I'm not super shocked about it. I am, because, LeBron has such an influence and stuff, but he was playing with people that were like, okay, like, yeah, Rondo has good moments, like, we're going to throw JaVale McGee in the mix. Sure. But like, he had nobody else.
Well, but that's the thing. He was supposed to bring up everybody else. He was supposed to make everybody else better, because they kept this young core hoping that LeBron James would take that young core and make them better.
Oh, cool. So just make LeBron carry the team again.
That's what they're paying him for.
Well, that's what he just did, and now the Lakers can't help him a little bit. He literally just did that, and the Lakers are like, you know what? We want you to do the same thing, but we're going to make it harder for you.
Well, but they're paying him to make it to the championship. That's what they're paying him for, regardless of the pieces. They used to say LeBron James and 5 scrubs off the street can make it to the championship.
Right, when they were on the East Coast. But now you come to the West Coast, and you have to compare the teams that are on the West Coast. To be honest with you, I thought the Lakers made terrible decisions in the offseason, and what's happening now is what was meant to happen because of the people they surrounded LeBron with.
Well, I mean, Magic had this belief that as long as you have LeBron James, everything else will work out.
Right.
And because he, like, I guess viewed it as if, when I was out there playing, all you needed was me and everything worked out.
Oh, great, Magic. Well, let's talk about the 80s. Let's go.
Yeah, let's talk about the 80s.
That's a different time.
LeBron James is supposed to be the Magic Johnson now for the team, where it's just like, because he can rebound, he can assist, and he can score, much like Magic Johnson was able to do. So he just assumed that any other pieces can make it work, regardless of if it's the East or the West. Everyone believes that LeBron James is the best player. Now, it might not be so. Like, maybe it's Kevin Durant. Maybe I said maybe. What was it that? Why are you looking up to the Lord?
Really? Kevin Durant is who you would say?
I'm not saying that.
I mean, obviously you have that in your mind because you brought it.
That's what people say. Like,
is that what people say? Or is that what you say?
People say this. Don't put that all on me. Like,
I would never put that. I don't know. Carry on. I'm not saying Kevin Durant's not good. I just would never say that. But okay.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, well, who else would you say would be in comparison as a top tier player to LeBron James in our current NBA?
I mean, I would bring up James Harden.
Right. I mean, he is a scoring threat, but he doesn't give you everything that a player can give you. You know what I'm saying? Like, those two are all around good players. Like, they can play good defense. They can play good offense.
You're
they
right.
can help
Harden
out their
doesn't
team.
play defense.
He plays no defense.
You're right.
I mean, he just might as well just be like eating nachos when they're on defense.
He should just stay on the side of the court.
Right.
Where, he's shooting
put his
the ball.
hands down or whatever. I mean,
hang out.
to put his arms out in the first place is just an embarrassment to himself because
Yeah.
he's not doing anything. He's not sliding his feet. He just gets burnt on every first step because he's saving that energy for the other side.
And you can't blame the guy.
No, I mean, I don't know though. I mean, when you score nearly 60 points and your team still loses, that's rough.
That's rough, of course.
He's not the only one that suffers that. I mean, homie over in Phoenix,
I know.
He's
Devin
doing the
Booker,
same.
59, and they lost by 30.
Yeah, I mean, they got blown away. Where was the rest of the team?
You know, they were watching Devin.
Yes,
They were watching their teammate. They're like, you're so good. We're so glad we're on the same team as you.
Well, you hit those threes. You do that.
All right. Okay. All right. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in the offseason with the Lakers because we obviously know their season is coming to an end. We'll see what Magic does. Now,
But speaking of basketball, what do you think about your team's chances here? Because you were upset that I mentioned Doc Rivers. But
listen. I think that a lot of people want to play the Clippers. I think they think that's the easy way out. That's the easy win and move on to the next round. And I think that the Clippers have established this team where there is no star. And so you don't really...
Sweet Lou is a star, though.
Oh, 100%. Coming off the bench, I mean, Sweet Lou, 100%. But I'm saying, like, you don't really know who to guard. They've kind of, like, spread the weight of the ball. And so I think they can be unpredictable. Can the Clippers beat the Warriors? I really don't think so. Can they beat the rest of the teams? I really think they can. And I think they're going to put up a good fight. I really do.
I mean, do you really think, though, they could beat the Nuggets? I mean,
I do. I totally think they could beat the Nuggets.
All right.
I really, really do.
I just don't know who they would have for Joker. Like, who's going to stop him?
Montrez, he's going to give it his all. At least, he's going to, like, every point go for it and play defense. He's not going to half-ass anything. He's going to go for it.
Right.
So can he stop the Joker? Maybe not, but he's definitely going to make it difficult for him. And maybe surrounding players can, help the Clippers come on top. I really think they can do it. I really think they could beat anyone except the Warriors.
Yeah, that's the team to beat. And I don't know if anybody can beat them. I don't think.
God, they're so annoying. They are so annoying because they're good and then they lose in situations when they shouldn't be losing. Oh my God.
Well, the regular season, as we've learned in the past, does not really matter. I mean, LeBron James would limp his team into the playoffs and then just destroy teams like the Raptors in 4 games, a team they shouldn't have swept.
But they did.
So it all matters.
The magic of LeBron.
Yeah, well, yes. But it just all matters about getting to the dance. Once you're there, then do, whatever you can. But it doesn't matter until you get there. Because, I mean, let's be honest. The Rockets have lost games that you're like, how would you lose those games? Even the Thunder have won games where you're like, that's surprising. And then they turn around and lose to the Suns.
Listen, that's a separate conversation another day. The Thunder is another issue. That is another day, another conversation. Here in LA, though, we might not be able to watch the Lakers play, but we can watch UCLA's women's basketball continue in the NCAA.
For at least one more game.
Maybe, they have advanced to the Sweet 16, which is super exciting for them. They beat Maryland. They were the underdog.
Right.
But they didn't necessarily beat them because of their offensive skills. It's because of their defensive skills.
Well,
and their
offense. They had like 30 rebounds.
Offensive rebound. But I'm talking about like scoring. Like they don't have a set to-go shooter. They tend to spread the ball, and one of the things is they did have 27 offensive rebounds.
Right.
They went into the fourth quarter losing to Maryland and came out on top. Very exciting, but now they have a big challenge ahead of them.
Yeah, they got UConn, which is a team that has been known for at least 2 decades as being the top tier university for women's basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, they overtook, your Tennessees and I guess like Old Dominion might have been up there back in the day, but like now it is UConn. I mean, they even had a couple of years where they didn't even lose a game. Yeah. So that's a team that is going to be very hard for them to beat.
Yeah, the Bruins have not beat them. They are 0-5 against UConn. And in 2017, they lost to UConn in the Sweet 16. So it's going to be like a rematch. And it's not in UCLA's favor. But can they do it? Why not?
No.
Why not?
Because it's UConn. I mean, that's basically why. I mean, when you go out and can easily get the best players based on just name alone, it's hard for other teams to compete with that, because like you can just walk into a high school gym and look for, some girls playing and be like, hey, I'm a recruit for UConn. They're going to come talk to you. But if you're like, I'm a recruit for UCLA, they're like, I mean, that's a nice school. I like California. Like that's a completely different conversation,
But I'm saying, like, let's if we know that UCLA's team is so good at offensive rebounding and just rebounding in general, what if UConn has a bad night, an off shooting night?
Well,
the boards are going to be UCLA's boards.
I mean, a team can also have a bad night, but even on bad nights, UConn is winning. Like it's just, they know how to win. I mean, their coach is really good, and he's been able to get these top tier recruits. It's going to be really hard to destroy that juggernaut.
It is. But clearly I have more faith in UCLA than you do. So we'll see.
I don't believe any team is really going to beat them until they're beaten. I mean, even when they lost, I think last year in the tournament, it was only by 2 points. And it was because, one girl went off, Ooh. So like maybe if UCLA has somebody who just is unstoppable, but you've already said that that's not the kind of play that they have, that they dish it around.
They tend to dish it around. They don't have a go-to shooter necessarily.
Right. I think to beat them, you have to have somebody that they can't stop. And if they can stop anybody, then I think you have a problem.
Okay. All right, so I guess we'll see. They play Friday, so I guess we'll wait and see.
Okay.
But UCLA, despite having this positive story, has a not so positive story.
Well, they're not the only university caught up in this scandal.
They're not. I mean, we've all heard about the FBI investigation with college admissions and people taking money and bribes, and more
Becky
importantly,
from Full House and Felicity Huffman were involved in this.
Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman. This is true. But the thing that sucks about this, that upsets me the most, is not because people do this all the time. Rich people donate money to schools all the time in hopes that their kids are going to go into that school.
Well, it doesn't
That's like
work anymore. Like, it's not guaranteed.
Right. The donations are not guaranteed.
Yeah.
I agree. But what's upsetting is, like, not only was money involved, but like you're putting kids on teams and pretending that they belong on that team, that they have the talent, that they have the skill level to be playing on this team. It's so upsetting. Like, if it was just money, it wouldn't upset me. But the fact that you're like taking fake photos of these kids playing in a specific sport and then you put them on the team?
Well,
upsetting.
Monsi, here's why.
Tell me why.
Well, because now it's not enough to be white and smart. It's not. You have to have something else. You have to have extracurricular activities. And the problem is, what's the extracurricular activity for some rich person's child? Well, probably not a lot. They're not going to play sports. I'm sure, like the fact that they even used things like rowing and sailing. Right. I didn't even know sailing was a sport, to be honest with you.
Well, not here it isn't.
Well, no.
Pero for real, not here.
I mean, I guess it's over in like the Northeast, maybe. I guess that's where you can go sailing. Maybe it's competitive sailing. I'm again,
who knows?
Don't know about it.
Don't know.
Don't know. Not my sport.
Yes.
But either way, it's not enough just to have the grades, because they were already probably skewing those numbers.
Right.
But even still, it's like, great, you have a 4.0. So does this kid too. So what else do you have to bring to the table? And to be honest with you, I don't know if that's fair in of itself, where you have to do so much just to be accepted to universities now. It's like, I don't know what kids in the future are going to have to do just to get into a university.
Well, make $1 million because it's so expensive to go to school nowadays.
Well, that's also true.
Insanely expensive. But yeah, the UCLA men's soccer coach resigned. Jorge Salcido. I'm going to call him because I'm going to guess he says it the right way and not the white way. Right?
I mean, I don't know. He's been at UCLA for a long time. He's probably been whitewashed a little bit.
Maybe, but I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to say it like that and not the whitewashed way. He took money. Specifically, it seems as though he took about $100,000 from a realtor to get their daughter onto the women's soccer team. So it's like not even your team. You're literally meddling in someone else's team.
I mean, I'm sure
That's so frustrating.
if you follow the paper, there's probably a little cut that was given to the women's coach too. But even
Yeah, I guess you're right.
yeah,
You're probably right about that.
But
Okay.
the paper trail ended with him. You know,
Yeah.
you didn't see when he slid a little extra cash to the side there. But either way, I mean, yeah, it's very corrupt, and it's happened in a lot of universities. And if you really kind of go into the dirt of universities, I don't think any of them are clean. Maybe a few Christian universities are clean, but they all are corrupt in a little way.
So you think this is just like the tip of the iceberg? You think that like if we really dug into it, it would be revealing way more information?
Well, if you dug into just the sports alone, I think the problem with this is that there was also manipulating their actual numbers as far as their scores and testing. That's also a problem that they had too, you know, because adding the fake photos of your kids swimming around and stuff like that.
That is infuriating. I don't know how that's not upsetting to you. You're over here just like acting like it's no big deal. That is so infuriating.
Well, yeah.
You know how many kids want to play college sports?
Well, yes, there's a lot of them that do, and a lot of them are rejected.
Clearly one person didn't get to.
Well, yes. Well, I mean,
At least.
there's probably a lot more than that, but
It's so infuriating. It's so upsetting.
it should be upsetting, especially for those kids who've been.
So upsetting. I needed to do something, and I was either going to throw something at you, so I just rang the bell instead.
That's fine. I mean, you can throw stuff at me too.
No,
but
it's fine. It's cool. I don't hit the microphone, expensive equipment. I don't want to do any of that. When it came out, it was just about money. I didn't even care that much. I was like, everybody does that. And then it came out that they were like putting kids on teams when they shouldn't be on the team, and that really like infuriated me.
Again, it's not enough just to be smart. You have to do other things, and the easiest thing was to make it look like your kid was on a team that no one pays attention to. I mean, like they weren't getting on to the football team, even though there's now some allegations that maybe Pete Carroll was involved in this kind of stuff before he went up to the Seahawks, which I wouldn't be surprised with, because you could probably like hide a kicker.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You're like, oh yeah, he's our number 2 kicker.
I mean, there was a whole thing with Reggie Bush too at SC.
Well, I mean, but he deserved to be on the field.
Oh, no, for sure.
I don't know if he deserved to be in the school, but he definitely deserved to be on the field.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. All right. Agreed.
So that one is not quite the same vein, where it's just like they're kind of cheating the system a different way. Like,
right.
He probably read 2 books in his life and then made it on the football team. I mean, I'm not saying
what 2 books do you think he read?
Green Eggs and Ham, and
I thought you were going to say something like To Kill a Mockingbird or, you know, Catcher in the Rye. No, Green Eggs and Ham and Space Jam.
Oh.
That's what he read.
Did they make that in book form?
I do. I own it.
Really?
Oh, I would love to. I'll bring it.
Please do.
I have it in book form. There's pictures. Michael
sure
is
it's a
on the
picture
cover.
book.
It's like, it's so great. I'm going to bring it. We can talk about it.
Okay.
Moving on to the Freeway Series happening here in LA right now. We're just about to start baseball.
It's true.
Opening day for the Dodgers is on Thursday, the 28th. But right now they are playing the Angels in the Freeway Series. It's tied 1-1, but today they play at Dodger Stadium.
It's true.
Now, you know what's really upsetting is that Kenta Maeda throws his first pitch in the second game, and it's a home run.
Yeah. I think it was Calhoun.
It was.
Yeah. Not one of the best Angel players, but he made contact.
But it's like, seriously, it's almost like deja vu. Like, it takes me back to the past couple of seasons, because it's just like the Dodgers issues, at least, you know, if you would have asked me before this game, my issues with the Dodgers was that all they wanted to do is hit the long ball. And, you know, that's why they lost to the Red Sox. The Red Sox clearly outsmarted them, outplayed them. They were outcoached, the whole ordeal. And then I go to these pitchers, and it's just like, the Dodgers have good pitching, and then it's like, it's either really good or it's okay. And I think there's like a missing link with the pitchers. And maybe, you know, it's preseason, maybe they're going to prove me wrong, but that's how I feel. It's like, they're either really, really good or they're okay.
Well, it's just hard to be a very good, consistent pitcher, especially in today's baseball, because there is so much tape. And I mean, they can sit there holding a pad, looking at exactly every pitch you're doing as you're doing it. So it's really hard for you to be a pitcher that's dominant, because they can literally see how you throw every ball immediately after you've done it.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking that in today's baseball, you're just hoping to get some people out like without them hitting home runs, because
Right.
that's exactly what everybody's trying to do. Everyone's trying to hit home runs.
And it's funny that everyone's trying to do that when it's clearly like the Red Sox didn't win like that.
No, they didn't, and that's why they won. I mean, they
So
played
that's so it's like, why are we still trying to do that?
Because that's what the analytics say. They say that if you hit these home runs, you will win games. That's what a bunch of nerds with books sitting in like really good seats have been telling all these owners. You know? So that's what's happening, you know?
Well, yeah, because a home run is a point.
Right.
Right.
So a base hit is just a guy on base, but a home run is a run.
But that,
so that's what they're looking at. They're looking at, look, if the pitcher goes 7, 8 innings and they give up 1 home run, that might be enough for you to lose. It may not be, because, you know, nowadays they might use 15 pitchers in a game. You know, like, all right,
Yeah.
you pitch to this guy. All right, you're out. Now you pitch to that guy, you know, and then you're out.
yeah, which is happening more and more. And as a pitcher, I feel like I would be super frustrated that I can't try and get a no-hitter. That I can't try. I know it's very hard to pitch a perfect game, but I can't try and do that, especially like lately with the Dodgers. The Dodgers have like, you know, shifting teams, or like one day you're going to play, but then the next day you're going to play. It's like there's no consistency aside from a few players. And so it's just, I would be so frustrated if you're not letting me. You know, Walker Buehler should be able to pitch an entire game.
Yeah, he should.
He should. Will they let him?
If he's throwing a perfect game, I think they would. Now, if he's throwing perfect, yes. Now, if he's just trying to get a complete game shutout, no. They're not going to let you continue on if you've given up a few hits here and there, because they might think one of those hits might be that home run ball that loses them the game. So if you are throwing a perfect game or a no-hitter, I have a feeling they'll let you continue on for history's sake. But if you've given up a couple of hits, they'll pull you out after the 6th inning, because it's probably better, according to the numbers, to be bringing in other pitchers that the batters haven't seen yet and then go from there.
You're upsetting me with these numbers.
I mean, I'm not trying to. That's
I just hate that.
well,
let him play.
Hate the movie Moneyball. This is the reason why baseball's this way now.
So this is all Brad Pitt's fault.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Brad Pitt.
If the movie was starring somebody ugly, then no one would have seen it, and we wouldn't be where we are right now.
See, stop using attractive men in movies,
Exactly.
and then this won't happen. But the Angels, you know, they have signed on an extension,
It's true.
the largest.
And I almost called the exact number.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. I'm surprised it happened so quickly, because you did call this.
Yeah.
I just am surprised it happened so quick.
Well, it happened quickly because
Of Bryce Harper.
well, that and Mike Trout doesn't like drama. He
Right.
didn't want to have the drama of months and months of not knowing where he was going to play.
I mean, his contract was until 2020, so he had time.
No, he did.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to have to go through like 2 months of being like, oh, well, where am I going to play? Does anybody really want to pay me
Hold on
$500
a
million?
second. You're telling me that's what Trout was thinking?
I'm sure it was.
Of course he was. John, he's the best player. He
Yeah.
was not thinking that.
But he didn't know that he was going to get this half bill, you know? Like,
Of course, he probably was anticipating something. Come on.
Well, his
After Bryce
agents
Harper,
were. His
after
agents.
Manny Machado, who I can't stand, after he signed what he signed, Trout was like, great, so I could probably get this amount of money. I'm more shocked that the Angels organization jumped on it so quickly.
But why wouldn't they? They paid Albert Pujols ridiculous amounts of money immediately. They
That's
paid,
terrible, also,
what was
decision.
it? Hamilton, like
Yeah.
a
Also
ridiculous.
a ridiculous amount of
So
money.
they are used to throwing money away. Now, so why not do it to
The best
who
player.
everybody says is the best player in baseball?
Which
Like,
is crazy
yeah.
how that is. It's, you know, you go into other sports and you have a discussion. Who is the best player in this sport? And I feel like when it comes to baseball, 9 out of 10 people will not disagree that it's Mike Trout.
Well, because he's an all-around player. Like,
Right.
He will hustle. He plays great in the outfield. He's got a good arm. He hits the ball, but he doesn't always hit home runs. He hits the ball to get the ball in play. And it makes
What a concept.
I know.
What a concept.
Maybe some other teams need to understand that. But again, he'll just do what's necessary to help the team, which is what you want from a player. Someone like Manny Machado, I'm not going to say he's doing what's best for the team.
You're upsetting me.
He's just trying to get his numbers. And like he'll do his numbers like late in the game. He'll be like, oh, so we're getting beat 5-2. Well, I'll hit a home run now and make it 5-3, and I look a little better. We're not going to win, but I look better. So.
And with that mentality, why would you sign that guy anyway? I can't.
It's going to sell jerseys.
Is it?
Yes.
I would. Anyone who's wearing a Machado jersey, I'm instantly judging you because you support somebody who says I don't hustle.
Right. And he's
So
still
I'm instantly
got
judging you.
$300 million.
I know, John.
If I said I didn't do my job well and still got paid $300 million, I would love that.
Me too.
I would love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I wonder if we could get away with that.
I don't know. I mean, that's a very unique situation to be like,
so
I don't
annoying.
do my job, but pay me big time.
He's annoying. Just like the Warriors, but in different ways.
I mean, hey, there's other people getting paid who haven't even been on the field once.
I know. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, the Chicago White Sox, who missed on picking up Manny Machado.
Yes.
They missed on picking up Bryce Harper.
Yes.
They've missed for years on getting any kind of talented free agents. So I guess they found out this year that, hey, maybe we'll look into our farm system and pay somebody a ridiculous amount of money who hasn't even played baseball yet.
No, Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah, now he has played the game. I won't say that this is some guy off the street, but
It's just a local. We just picked him up,
they're
figured
like,
he could do it.
Hey, buddy, you want to play? So they did at least get somebody who's been a phenom. I mean, he was signed by the Chicago Cubs at 16.
Yep.
Like, that's real young.
Yep.
I mean, that's almost as young as Rookie of the Year. What was he, like 11, 12 years old that they in that movie that he signed the pitcher? That
I was like, what are you talking
the
about?
movie. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Got
use
it.
Chicago Cub references.
I got it.
There,
I just was, you gestured to me like you were giving me my age. I was like, what are you talking about?
Well, I know you're not 16.
I thought you
or
were
10.
trying to tell me I was. And I was like, oh, thank you.
You do look young, Boo,
Thank
but
you,
not
John,
that
but
young.
that's not what you were doing. Anyways, carry on. Yeah,
Either way,
Got it.
they picked him up at 16. They drafted him then, and he has just been kind of bouncing around in the minors for quite a while. But now the White Sox are like, look, buddy,
We're going to sign you.
we're going to sign you to a big deal, meaning that he won't be in the minors anymore. He's going to the pros. You're not paying somebody that kind of money just to be sitting around in the minors.
Yeah.
And they are also hyping him up a lot, talking about how, like, when he hits the ball, it is the loudest thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
So he better be hitting the ball really well.
$43 million for 6 years, never having an MLB at bat.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But again, he's young. I mean, what is he, like 23?
If that.
Or 22? Like, so he's
Yeah.
still young.
Yeah.
So you're basically paying for the future, which is kind of what they're doing
With everybody.
Yeah. You know, now the others have at least proven themselves a little bit.
It's
I mean,
true.
Bryce Harper has an MVP. I mean, so does Trout. Don't look at me like that when I say Bryce Harper has an MVP. Like, I didn't give it to him.
No. And when he won the MVP, he had a great year. But since then, it's been on a decline.
Right.
So,
And they seem to be paying him for his decline.
Oh my God. And it's, how long? 13
years.
13 years.
Yeah.
13 years.
Right. He could have signed a 5-year with the Dodgers for $45 million a year, but he didn't want that pressure because if he signed on to the Dodgers and they still didn't win World Series, that would make his numbers
Legacy.
look down. Like it'd be like you were brought here to get them over that hump. They could already get there. They needed that extra push, and you
Right.
couldn't give it to them. Maybe you're not that good.
Right.
So now if he goes to the Phillies, who aren't doing that great, and if they happen to win maybe 5 or 6 more games because of him, he could say, look, we're winning more games because of me. Now, is it a lot? Maybe not. But at least he could say that they improved due to him.
Right.
Now, he's still probably going to bat a little over 250, and he'll probably still get you quite a few home runs, but he's not going to be winning these games for them. I just don't think he's going to be that difference maker, at least not for the money.
Okay. I guess we're going to wait and see what happens.
I mean, we'll definitely
we're
wait
right
and
around
see.
the corner from starting the new season of baseball.
It's so true. We'll see if this winning culture he's talking about in Philadelphia is actually going to come to pass.
Oh, goodness. It's crazy, but who do you think is going to win the World Series? I know it's like bizarre, but right now,
Right now?
if you had to guess.
If I had to guess, I would probably say that the Houston Astros will probably get back in the mix again. I mean, they had a
Interesting.
down year because it's hard to go back-to-back winning the World Series.
It is.
But they're still pretty much the same team. that won the World Series not too long ago. And if they could figure out the changes they need to beat teams like the Red Sox, I think they'll do it again.
Well, I was going to say, you're saying the Astros, why not the Red Sox? They're almost the same team.
Well, I think the Red Sox will also have that slump too. It's like it's hard to win the World Series back to back.
Gotcha.
Like it's a rare thing that happens, especially in today's baseball. Like back when the Yankees were doing it all the time, it's like, well, you paid for the best players to be on the same team, and it didn't really matter because your whole roster was much better than every team. You know, like your bench players could have played on other teams, you know, but that's not going to be the case now because everyone has a pretty good pool of talent. So it's kind of based on like, you know, rest and recovery. And I think the Houston Astros can get it done. All
right. That's a good one. I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just I'm being biased, but I'm going to say the Yankees.
Yeah.
They've been on the edge that I feel like if they just...
They have a very weak link in Giancarlo. Like, he can't hit the ball when you need him to. And that's not good. Like, Aaron Judge is such a better batter when it comes down to can you hit when it matters. Giancarlo will hit you a monster home run.
When you're up 7-0.
Exactly. You're up and doesn't even matter. Or he'll hit a monster home run to start the game. And then he is so quiet the rest of the game, striking out and looking foolish at the plate. He also changes his batting stance like halfway through the season. Like, what are you doing? Have consistency. That's the main thing in baseball. Do the same thing each time and it should work. But he changes like every few weeks.
Yeah, well, maybe he's trying to figure out. Maybe he's figured it out. John.
I don't think
all right.
so.
Okay, I guess really I'm just being a little biased
but
since
he's
I
paid,
like the Yankees.
And that's all that matters.
He is getting paid, and that is all that matters. Before we wrap up, we got one big thing that happened in LA. The LA Marathon.
All right.
Woo!
Give it up for Africa. We won again. We always win the marathon.
Yes. From Kenya, Elisha Barno won. But it was crazy because he won it was like the closest race in a very, very long time. He finished in 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 52 seconds. Whew. The second place, Juan Luis Barrios. 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 59 seconds.
That's shorter than...
Oh, if that would have been... I don't know. That's awful to lose by seconds.
I mean, the fact that you even accomplished a marathon anyway is
true.
Amazing.
That's true.
And to be second, I don't think is that bad.
Are you kidding me? I would have rather lost by minutes, not seconds.
Well, but that showed hustle. That showed perseverance.
Oh, Manny Machado doesn't know what that is.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly. This man deserves $300 million is what we're saying.
Like, I can't. Oh, and my bad. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I said all of that wrong. Okay. Yes. Hold on. It's just they were all very, very close. But I think I just said that all wrong. So the gentleman from Kenya, he did it in 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 46 seconds. Then the second person was 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 52. And then the third, 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 59. So the top three were like right there. Isn't that insane?
Yeah. I mean, look. They tried. Look, I assume second and third tried their hardest. It's just, you know, when you've been running for 2 hours, you probably don't have that extra jolt that you'll need to overtake somebody. I mean, at that point, you are going with a rhythm.
Right.
And you just hope that rhythm is enough to get you to the end and win it. But I mean, I just don't know where you're going to find that extra boost after 2 hours of running.
I don't know, but it's really exciting that Juan Luis Barrios, who was the third place, not the second place, the third place, he's from Mexico. And that's so exciting because we also had a Latin woman from Guatemala. Did you hear? She ran the LA Marathon in traditional Mayan clothing. Oh, wow. Sandals and all.
Dang.
The whole thing. I was very impressed. I've only done half marathons, and
I've only done a 5K.
And listen, my half marathon, my best time has been 2 hours and 2 minutes. So the fact that these people did 2 hours and 11 minutes and did a full marathon boggles my mind. She finished it. She full on finished it, did it under 5 hours, which is insane.
Right.
She says she does it to support women's rights, but it's so insane that somebody did that, and yet we have people who think it's impossible to run a marathon. And it's like, this woman did it in like the worst type of shoe, and probably not the best gear, I would assume.
But we're going to still assume that she's probably moderately in shape. You know, like
and it's so
some
funny.
People who say it's impossible to run a marathon probably haven't put down their McDonald's sandwich in a long time. You know, so it's impossible for some people, yes. But I mean,
she said, they asked her, they were like, how do you think you're going to do? She's like, I don't think I'm going to do that well because of my diet. Because I eat a lot of frijoles. What is that?
Food.
God, John. ¿Qué estaré pagando yo? Frijoles are beans.
Oh.
Beans. John. Beans.
Great.
So she's like, I eat a lot of frijoles and tomates.
More food.
I'm gonna need you. We're gonna bring you like a translator thing
for food
and chili. And she said, I think she used the word chili, but she was like, I don't think I'm gonna win because of my diet. And this is like this tiny little woman, and she eats a lot of frijoles, which I do too, man. I love frijoles.
I mean, I love beans as well.
Do you?
Yeah, they're like all my burritos.
Of course, you need them in your burrito, right?
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, any other time, I don't think I'm going to have beans unless I'm at a barbecue or something, and they're like, "Oh, here's some baked
Very
beans."
different beans.
Well, I know those are different beans.
Super different.
But those are the only other beans.
Those
in my
aren't
life.
the good kind.
No, I didn't say they were
We want
good.
some like refried beans,
right? No, I'm
or
all
some
about that.
black beans.
Yeah,
those are delish.
Yeah, they are.
But
they're
not
black beans.
Okay, pero for real, I don't even know what to do. And I think that's the way we end the show, you know, with a little black beans, a little La La Land.
Yeah.
So much happening. We'll see what happens with the Lakers in the off season. We'll see what happens in this new season of baseball.
Yeah.
But exciting times ahead.
That's true. It's
right.
very true.
Until next time.
All right. Are you signing us off?
Sure. Signing us off. This is Monty and Sean. Bye.
Bye, everyone.